Hi guys, and welcome to your weekly horoscope. Thank you for joining me. It's a pleasure to be with you today. This horoscope is for Monday the 29th of August going through until Sunday the 4th of September 2022. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through each day of the week to see what relationships the planets form with one another, what energy they create amongst themselves. And the point of these horoscopes then is to try and see what that energy is all about, where the positives are, so you can kind of take advantage of those and avoid some of the negatives that come along with that. So what I noticed when I was looking at the week ahead is that the seasons are really starting to shift. Mercury later on in the week on Friday the 2nd of September, that starts to slow down in anticipation of its retrograde in September. And we're really moving out of the height of summer now and we're going into autumn, or at least we're preparing for it. Autumn then in itself, astrology based on the seasons and the northern hemisphere, right? It's very much about preparing for the future, getting practical, and the environment really cools off. So this ability to kind of determine what your life purpose is, or what's going to illuminate your future, or to live in the moment and to really enjoy every second you've got. This is really one of the last weeks where that kind of energy is very, very easy to access. So just be aware of that. Monday, the 29th of August, we've got the moon going into Libra at 12:45 in the afternoon, so 45 minutes past noon. So the moon is the way you feel, and Libra, it's an air sign. It's very much about communicating with other people, connecting the dots really in terms of how can I help them, how can they help me, how does the situation make sense here, and how is it all interconnected. It's ruled by Venus, the creative planet, so having the moon in Libra gives you the ability to be creative and to express yourself very well. The moon then conjuncts Mercury, the communication planet, which is also in Libra. So your inner artist is kind of alive and whispering in your ear here. So if you've been lacking new material, or you've been feeling particularly uninspired, that will stop on Monday. The Libra moon then opposes Jupiter in Aries. So Jupiter is an outer planet, the planet of good luck and good fortune. And when it's in Aries, the energy is really focused on a particular direction, and Aries is very much about getting the self from point A to point B. So having Jupiter in Aries is a good thing. It's like a good friend to have on your side, because anything you plan, you're going to have the motivation and the drive to get it done, even if there are obstacles involved. Then also the moon trines Mars in Gemini, and that is very driven to express itself and to get its point across. So it's not that if you're a writer and you've been blocked for a while, then that suddenly disappears. In fact, I think you feel compelled to kind of make your point, or to express something, or to make a decision that stems from just you, almost in order to prove it to yourself that, hey, I'm engaging with this process. This is the way I've analyzed it and I've made sense of it. The biggest element I would associate with Monday is air. And air is all about the ideas, your ability to think, your perspective on things, whether that's the same as other people's or not. And really, those are the benefits. So I think on Monday, you're going to start out feeling sociable and positive, and it's a really nice start to the working week here. Meditation, counseling, and creativity, all of those are particularly supported by the moon being in Libra and Mercury being in Libra. There may be a willingness to kind of look at your own part in things, to be very objective is what I mean, and to have a productive meeting of the minds with other people, especially people you're at odds with. If you're in mediation, or if you've been trying to sort something out with a friend or something and it hasn't worked, Monday is a good day to look at that kind of thing. Tuesday, the 30th of August, we've got the Virgo Sun forming a quincunx with Jupiter in Aries. That's really, it's a very decisive energy. Virgo is about making things better in a practical sense, about applying this nurse-like energy, understanding the situation so that you can kind of swoop in and fix it. It's very hopeful in that way. So the quincunx with Jupiter, it's almost like, hey, if I see a problem, then that's enough of an indicator that I need to hop in and solve that problem. Very energized, very focused. The Libra moon opposes Chiron in Aries. So is it me or other people here? That's the question. Which way do I go? It trines Saturn in Aquarius. Others and the way you interact with people and the way you see your life and the routines in it, that will feel very comfortable and supportive. And so if there's a homecoming or something, like if you've been on holiday for a week or two and you come home and, I don't know, you take a bus or a cab from the airport back to your house, and the familiar neighborhood appears and you get this sense of warmth and it's like, oh, I'm home, this is great. That's really accessible on Tuesday. The moon also sextiles Venus in Leo, so the creativity is still there and very much supported. And it quincunxes Uranus and Taurus. So change is not something you're overly thrown by. You're okay with change. In fact, on Tuesday, I think with all this fire energy that we've got now and air energy, you may have a need for a real spring clean here as we move into the autumn at the end of September, on the 22nd of September. So it's, again, preparation for what's to come. And it takes you out of the present moment and it says, look at what you can organize for the future in autumn and in winter, so you'll be comfortable then. You'll also want to organize and kind of check in with working relationships specifically and make sure that they're still okay and that they're all where they should be. If you're in negotiations or you have legal matters to deal with, Tuesday is a great time for all sides to be heard very clearly. And a good question to ask yourself on Tuesday is, what needs resolution? Because the elements, I'm focusing on the elements this week for some reason, but Tuesday is fire and air. So anything that needs your assessment or you to make sense of it, you'll be on top of that completely. And because fire is available too, you'll have your own best interest at heart and you'll kind of fight in your own corner very nicely. Wednesday the 31st of August, we've got the Libra moon forming a sextile with Venus in Leo. So that's nice because the moon is in Libra, ruled by Venus. So that combination, sextile is when two planets kind of blend their energies together in a harmonious way. The Libra moon is creative and fun-loving and sociable. Venus in Leo demands attention and wants to do something big and exciting. So those create a wonderful atmosphere for social gatherings, parties, events. Squares Leo in Capricorn, that's the moon. And Pluto is about transforming something in your practical circumstances, particularly in your work. And it quincunxes Neptune in Pisces. So if you talk to someone in some sort of social gathering about what you're planning in your working life, you may find that there's some sort of an opportunity that stems from that conversation. So being open about what you would like to achieve, where you see yourself going, that will lead to something. Either someone else overhears it or it leads you to do a piece of work which is then picked up and seen and it opens other doors. So that's where movement is really possible. Venus in Leo quincunxes Neptune in Pisces. So again, the dream of what could be is now very important. And the dream of what could be then begs for comparison with what is in the now, and that can put you off a little bit if they don't match exactly. So if you're easily disappointed or discouraged, watch out on Wednesday here for these unreasonable expectations that you're now aiming at yourself and saying, well, why aren't you, the number one singer in the world when you've never sung a day in your life? The moon enters Scorpio at 7:11 in the evening. So the moon in Scorpio is very intuitive. It's very able to identify what the core problem is in order to transform it and heal it. And therefore, it's very in touch with the emotions. So we're moving into the realms of water here now. The Scorpio moon then quincunxes Mars in Gemini and Jupiter in Aries. So this gives you a strong sense that if you express yourself, that's a way to dump any toxicity or negativity. When you go to like a alternative therapy and they do cupping on you, and it feels like something's being pulled out of you almost. It's that whole concept. The Scorpio moon, Mars in Gemini, Jupiter in Aries. I think I mentioned this for the new moon in Virgo that we had on the 27th of August. That is almost like a valve where you're able to let off the steam. So on Wednesday, you may run into some sort of disappointment in your life if your circumstances don't match what you're dreaming of for yourself. That could create frustration and make you a little bit impatient. a spiritual practice and seeing instead, rather than how I can get this dream life or why haven't I got it, instead how you can be of service, that can be really, really helpful when dealing with those kind of feelings. That sense of, oh, why isn't this as I want it to be? Moving on into September now, Thursday the 1st of September, we've got the moon in Scorpio forming an opposition with Uranus and Taurus. That's kind of interesting because the Scorpio-Taurus axis I like. It's all about control. Scorpio likes emotional control and likes to know that it matters. Taurus likes to have control of the physical world, likes its creature comforts, and likes to know that it's secure. So the moon being in Scorpio is, I know what I'm feeling, and that's very important to me, and that's really what gives me a sense of security. And Uranus and Taurus is fundamentally opposed in itself. Uranus is change and transformation and the unexpected. And Taurus is really lockdown. It's about, let's make sure everything is as we want it to be. So my feelings feel much realer, as such, if that's a word, than my circumstances, especially anything that demands my attention or seems very urgent. So I don't feel like you're likely to lose the plot in any way on Thursday the 1st. You're very, very focused. So the moon then squares Saturn in Aquarius, sextiles Jupiter in Aries, and the sun in Virgo. So you may be very connected with other people at the moment, and officialdom, like paperwork, business meetings, mediations again. If there's something that you discover by doing your homework and your research that hasn't been discussed, or that you feel is underhanded and that was deliberately someone tried to pull over the wool over your eyes and tried to trick you, basically. If you notice that happening, you may be very much in your feelings about that. And I think the best way to then resolve the situation is try and minimize those feelings and to look at the practical resolution and to try as much as possible not to take it personally. The Scorpio moon then, it quincunxes Mars in Gemini, so that also is an issue because it's like if I feel something, I want to express it. Chiron in Aries, it's almost harmful if I don't express my feelings. I've got to get it out, you know. And Jupiter in Aries. So redirecting any frustration or anger, I think, could be really well done again in art or creativity, writing, anything that requires a bit of that makes you a bit anxious anyway. Like, you know, if you want to be a writer in future, but every time you sit down, you start to imagine what the audience is going to say, or what the Amazon reviews are going to be like, or what the publishers are going to write in response, and it puts you off your actual work, then sometimes you need some extreme energy to overcome that initial anxiety or self-doubt. Thursday, the 1st of September, is a great day to make a start in that kind of project. And also because it's the first day of a new month, I always think that's symbolic in itself. So anything where you decide, this is what I'm going to do now, that it's a good day to kind of plant your flag and to say, this is where I'm going to get started. And Chiron and Jupiter will be very grateful if you do start something new on Thursday. Venus in Leo wants you to, again, be creative and to do something where you'll be recognized for it. And in quincunxes Pluto and Capricorn, so it'll encourage you to even think about how you can shift things in your working life so that is the case in the scenario. It wants you to ask for more attention, and it wants you to have more recognition. Yeah, so if you're an introvert and you usually struggle with that, but you do feel like you want a bigger platform, then Thursday again is a great day to pursue that kind of thing. Friday, the 2nd of September, Mercury is slowing down now on the 2nd. And it goes retrograde on the 9th. Mercury is the communication planet, right? It rules Virgo and Gemini, and it's very much about information and perspective, communication, technology, travel, transportation, assessment, anything like that. So with it now coming to a halt slowly, one, it's the change of the season, it kind of signals that. But also, you know, if you have the visa application to do, or if you need to read the computer manual because you're building your own PC, or the IT project, you know, with the team, the 50 people involved, it needs to all be submitted by, you know, the beginning of September, but you can like shift it a few days. Make sure you try and get it done before the 9th of September as soon as possible if you want fewer communication issues and fewer errors. The Scorpio moon then squares Saturn in Aquarius and Venus in Leo. It trines Neptune in Pisces and sextiles Pluto in Capricorn. To me, that says kind of jealousy a little bit. Comparison, why is my dream life not quite here yet? And the way to waste that recognition that there's a gap is to get jealous and to say, oh, well, why have they got it and not me? Because that's empty and negative. But if you say, well, how do I want to change the rest of the year, first of all, and what do I want to change? That then again allows you to have a breakthrough. So you have a choice. Yeah, hang on, where am I? Yeah, so Mercury, and then, then we've got Venus in Leo, forming a quincunx with Pluto and Capricorn. Saying this is the day before, please take on more responsibility at work or get more recognition. So it's a great day for presentations as well and presenting your work. Mercury in Libra then opposes Jupiter in Aries. So also creativity and creative expression is a way of self-healing. So Friday the 2nd, a good idea to look at any important communications that need doing, that are kind of outstanding, before Mercury goes retrograde on the 9th. Excuse me. Contracts, legal matters, house sales, anything like that. If you happen to be secretive also on Friday the 2nd, you could leave out an important detail, particularly when relaying some information to your partner. And if you're trying to be open and honest, just watch out for behaving in a secretive way, because it's almost like secrets feel pleasurable on Friday. You could also become overly upset at hearing no when you've planned otherwise. So if you feel like you're being unnecessarily blocked or something, again, you can go in your feelings. And as it was earlier in the week, looking at the practical solution is much better and a much better use of your time than getting into your feelings about it. Because you already know where you're going. You don't need to emotionally dig around for motivation. You've got that on your side already. Saturday, the 3rd of September, we've got the moon going into Sagittarius at 39 minutes past midnight. So this is very much about exploring the world and having an adventure. It's not about the emotions so much. Sagittarius moon poses Mars in Gemini. So I like this when I saw it. It's like that was an interesting placement to me. Because the Sagittarius moon is excessive. It says I want fun and I want to explore and I want different experiences. Mars in Gemini says I want to express myself. So to me, that's a travel writer. The opposition between the two, it's like, do I live or do I experience? It's like, why didn't you call me when you went out last night? Like, you said you'd be enjoying yourself, but you'd call me so I don't worry. And it's like the answer is, well, I'm too busy living my life to call. You know, it's that kind of thing. So that's the question here. But both are really good. I mean, do I get creative or do I live in the moment? Not bad choices. Trines Chiron and Jupiter in Aries. So doing something for yourself on Saturday is important. If you have any time off, please use it to do something fun that you enjoy. Squares the sun in Virgo. So that's going to feel kind of healing. And like you've won, like you've, you deserve it almost. It's like a reward. And it sextiles Mercury in Libra. So any creative people this week, this is a great week to really write the music or to get loads of chapters done or to, you know, get the outline for the screenplay or whatever. Really creatively supportive. So the weekend here, the first day of the weekend, Saturday, it really feels like the weekend. It's like a breath of fresh air and there's real potential to relax. Reading and letting your mind wander, that's going to be particularly satisfying because you'll also get ideas coming back in as you do that. If you're able to travel, exploring some sort of new interest or area, that's going to really appeal. And if you do have the opportunity to get creative, you can express your feelings beautifully. So please do that. Finally, Sunday, the 4th of September, we've got the Sagittarius moon forming a square with Neptune and Pisces. So now it's like, I want to have a major like life, what was it? The adventure of a lifetime, like the trip of a lifetime. You want to experience something big here. Trines Venus in Leo. So your creativity again can feel like an experience in itself. And that's, I mean, that stems from within you and doesn't cost anything. So that's amazing. Sextile Saturn in Aquarius, which is kind of interesting because it's like you're looking at the most positive options in everything, like how you can make it work for you. And it quincunxes Uranus in Taurus and you're willing to go with the flow. So really, to me, it feels like the last week of summer. It feels like last celebration before responsibility hits. Sunday the 4th, hopes and dreams are paramount. So again, what I said at the beginning of this, the whole summer season is great to figure out what your life purpose is and what your dreams for the future are. So with hopes and dreams are like being everything on Sunday, the 4th of September, I think that particularly is a day to ask yourself, what is it that I really enjoy, and to build with that in future. So you can take a load off and relax while you're doing this kind of internal research. There's a sense of faith that things will work out eventually, and that you've done a lot this week, and that you get to rejuvenate yourself here on Sunday the 4th, and that pursuing the things that you enjoy is the best way forward and the best plan. So it looks like a really solid, nice, productive, amazing week. I hope you have a great time. If you'd like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on Book Your Reading to audio reading with me. If you like the video, then give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and the little bell next to it. Share the video online. Have an amazing week. Check out the daily tarot readings that I do here on the channel, the special videos I do on the new moons and the full moons, the eclipses as well, and some of the other videos I publish. All the best, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.